Tuffy Auto Service Centers have been a trusted name in auto repair for decades, known for honesty, transparency, and customer care. Tuffy has grown from a single shop to a nationwide franchise now. The first Tuffy Auto Shop opened in 1970 in Detroit, Michigan. Since then, the company has grown steadily, emphasizing quality service and customer trust. In 2021, Tuffy was acquired by Mavis Discount Tire, expanding the brand even further. Today, though, there are over 200 Tuffy franchise locations, and with the other Mavis stores, the total number of locations under the parent company tops 1,200. My team and I had the opportunity to interview Ben Thorington, owner of two Tuffy locations, and his operations manager, Kyle. Ben's two locations are in Grand Haven, Michigan, and St. John's, Florida. Ben's shops have been 1 and 2 in the top performing stores 6 years in a row now. Ben's locations continue the Tuffy legacy by putting customer care first, making sure every customer feels informed, respected, and confident throughout the process. Ben's shops have grown alongside the Tuffy brand, focusing on quality over quantity. While some shops aim to expand rapidly, Ben emphasizes creating a strong culture, investing in his employees, and using technology to improve transparency within customers. Ben's leadership styles help employees understand where they stand, what's expected, and most importantly, assure them they're being listened to. One of Ben's main focuses are his employees. He briefly mentioned personally offering to pay for his employees' therapy and help them when they're in need. He and his team are always looking for ways to innovate, simplify the repair process, and staying ahead of the ever-changing automotive industry, while staying true to the core values that made Tuffy a trusted name.
At Tuffy Tire and Auto Service, the culture really comes down to teamwork, trust, and accountability. The owner, Ben, explains that everyone from the front desk to the repair bays play an important role in keeping the customers safe and satisfied. Employees are encouraged to share ideas, take initiative, and take pride in what they do. The sense of shared purpose keeps the shop positive, productive, and even during the busiest times. Ben's leadership style blends with theory Y and servant leadership. He believes that when people are trusted and supported, they naturally perform their best at what they do. Every 90 days, the team uses a plus-minus-zero system to reflect on performance and progress. It's not about pointing fingers, it's about communication, growth, and recognizing effort. Transparency is a big part of how Tuffy operates. Ben makes sure everyone feels heard, appreciated, and motivated. He takes time to understand what drives each employee and celebrate team wins, big or small. Even though Tuffy is part of a national franchise, each location is run independently. That flexibility lets Ben tailor his shop to the local community while still meeting company standards. His focus on culture and leadership has paid off. His store becomes the first Tuffy auto to pass $4 million in revenue.
Ben's leadership philosophy is shaped by his mentor John Maxwell and the idea that culture creates wins. Ben has built a Y-style organization, giving his employees the autonomy to their own space while providing them the tools they need to succeed. He reminds his team to ignore the competition and focus on being their best, a mindset that has helped Ben's Jacksonville location be the first Tuffy to reach $4 million in revenue. For Ben, leadership is not about control. It's about connection, culture, and continuous improvement.
At Tuffy Auto Service, you can really see servant leadership in action. Ben, the owner, focuses on supporting and developing his team above anything else. He holds bi-weekly leadership meetings where he can hear employees' feedback, and they can also fill out a dashboard-themed sentiment analysis. He motivates his team by holding team bonding events such as bowling, but during stressful times, what really stands out to me is how he learns their love language. And this can be a pat on the back, a handwritten note, or a small gift that shows individual support. His motto, "Culture Creates Wins," shows how much he values people over profits by investing in education, personal growth, and maintaining high standards. He creates a workplace where people want to stay and do their best, truly capturing his servant leadership mindset.
Tuffy is part of the auto maintenance repair industry, which is a really crowded and competitive market. When people need their car serviced, they have a lot of options, but those options can usually fit into three main categories. First, there are the independent repair shops that are usually family-owned and rely on customer loyalty and word of mouth. Then, there are the dealership service centers that are usually tied to a specific car brand. Lastly, there are the nationwide chains that advertise heavily used standardized processes. Tuffy fits into this last group, but on a much smaller scale compared to the biggest brands. On the national level, Tuffy competes with companies like Jiffy Lube, Firestone, Midas, and Bell Tire. These companies have hundreds to thousands of locations, while Tuffy has around 200, making it more of a mid-sized regional chain rather than a major national leader. What helps Tuffy stand out is that it offers a full range of services all in one place. Instead of needing a stop for brakes, diagnostics, tires, Tuffy allows customers to take care of everything in one stop, which is convenient and time-saving. Specifically at Tuffy's location in Grand Haven, it has two key advantages. First, it's located on North Beacon Boulevard, one of the busiest roads in all of Grand Haven. Second, it has 8 service bays compared to the typical repair shop's 5, which means it can work on more cars at once and reduce wait times. Overall, even though Tuffy isn't one of the biggest chains nationally, the location, full service model, and larger shop capacity helps position the Grand Haven Tuffy strongly in the local market.
Tuffy stands out in the automotive repair industry with over 50 years of experience and over 200 locations nationwide. This is a major barrier to entry for smaller independent shops. Their national brand reputation, wide range of services, and strong customer loyalty make it difficult for new competitors to match their scale and trust. Tuffy differentiates itself through their customer-centric values and transparency. They provide detailed photos and videos, explaining issues clearly, and they'll even refer customers elsewhere if they can't provide services done in-house. This is proving that integrity drives their business. Their warranty is 3 times stronger than most competitors, and they also offer flexible financing options that make it more affordable for repair. With long-term loyal employees and a people-first culture, Tuffy continues to set the standard for honest, reliable, and a customer-focused auto care.
Behind every successful business is a leader that knows how to motivate and manage behaviors effectively. Today we are going to be looking into 2 Tuffy Auto Service Centers to see how Ben Thorington puts management theories into practice. Let's talk about what motivates his team. Ben believes in performance-based work, which means that workers who do a good job get paid more and have more chances to grow. This is very similar to Herzberg's 2-factor theory, which says that hygiene factors like pay and working conditions, motivators like recognition and advancement work together. Ben's culture at Tuffy is all about recognition. He celebrates his employees' successes and checks in with them often. This structured feedback helps keep the employees on the same page, motivated, and appreciated. He also makes sure to talk about burnout and morale on purpose. Whenever there's an issue, he takes each person one-on-one into a room and figures out where the issue came and then tries to find a solution by working with each person and figuring out what works for them. This shows both empathy and responsibility. He shows that being a leader isn't about power, it's about making connections and talking to people one-on-one to figure out where the problem comes from. This method is in line with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, especially the self-actualization and esteem. Ben knows that people do their best work when they feel valued, recognized, and supported in reaching their full potential. Ben's style of leadership is also similar to the Hawthorne studies, which shows that employees work harder when they feel valued and noticed. Ben walks around the shop talking to employees and paying attention to what happens in their lives. He even learns what drives each employee based on their love language. Ben builds trust, communication, and a sense of belonging by making this kind of supportive space. These are all important for keeping people motivated and engaged over time. Tuffy doesn't just motivate its employees, it also motivates its customers. Ben puts lots of value on being open and communicating. He uses technology like virtual diagnosis, recordings to show customers exactly what's wrong with their cars. He wants to be the best at making car care easier and clearer in the business. Ben runs towards problems, not away from them. Even when the supply chain or manufacturers are delayed on the delivery, he does this while keeping trust and openness with employees at all times. Even though Ben runs 2 really strong Tuffy locations, there are still a few areas where he could improve based on organizational behavior principles.
Even though Ben's leadership style is strong, there are a few areas where he can improve based on concepts from organizational behavior. First, role clarity and structure could definitely be strengthened. While his 3Y approach gives employees freedom, organizational behavior research shows that employees also need clearly defined expectations and standardized process to reduce confusion and stress during busy periods. Second, Ben could incorporate more formal performance metrics. Right now, feedback is frequent but mostly personal. Organizational behavior emphasizes that combining relational feedback with measurable goals increases motivation, fairness, and accountability. Finally, Ben could expand succession planning and skills development. Investing in structured training, cross training, and leadership pipelines helps reduce dependency on key individuals and supports long term organizational growth. These improvements would complement his servant leadership style while strengthening communication, motivation, and performance across the whole team.